Whenever I'm at the airport, which has been a lot more often recently, though not anymore, when I arrive at my gate waiting to board the plane, I'm usually a half hour early, which in airport terms is drastically late. So by the time I get to my gate, all the seats nearby are usually filled with other passengers, or at least sprinkled about in just enough of a way to where I can't sit down because I'd be too near another person. I don't sit unless an entire row is empty. I've already got to squeeze next to some fatty on the plane. I'm not subjecting myself to unwanted proximity beforehand. So I'll stand around the corner somewhere and just look at my phone as if I'm doing anything on that. I just scroll between apps and wear a facial expression like I'm in a fun text conversation that isn't happening. But I've noticed that for some reason, every once in a while, I'll go around the corner and look to see if any seats become available. And after thinking about it, I realized that that is a pretty pointlessly dumb thing to do. These seats are all filled exclusively with people that are gonna be on my flight, and I look over periodically as if anyone is just gonna spontaneously be like, you know what, I don't wanna go home today, and just take their bag and leave the airport. They've already passed security and waited 45 minutes, but maybe they'll have an epiphany during the first boarding call. Fuck Janine's wedding, I ain't going. In fact, I'm just gonna vacate my seat on the off chance a retarded boy is leering around the corner at it. I'm a good Samaritan. Joke craftsmanship can be annoying because sometimes you have one or two really good lines you start out with as payoffs, but it takes a paragraph of setup and filler jokes to properly contextualize everything and make it make sense. All I wanted to say that whole time was sometimes I look over there as if anyone's going to be like, you know what, I don't want to go home. But if I just did that, nobody would get it. It's like when you come up with a great chorus melody for a song and then you realize, now I got to figure out the rest of it. I wish I could just post riffs. I have so many I don't want to finish, but I think if my channel got any lazier, it would stop existing altogether. Heartbreak's a bitch. So are the people who cause it usually, but not always. Heartbreak is also annoying to try to carefully orate in a YouTube video when you know the person behind it is watching, but that's a more niche issue you may or may not have experience with. It sucks when heartbreak is a result of something that was clearly avoidable, and you just sigh to yourself like, man, all I had to do was be less autistic and it would have been fine. Because not everyone has the compassion or equipment to deal with autism. I mean, she didn't want to catch my drool or point at pictures of food on the menu or anything. Not very accommodating if you ask me. She left me home alone one of the days while she was at medical school and then came back and acted all shocked when I pooped in the cat's litter box. Like, you know I need constant supervision. It was the first thing I said to you when you messaged me on YouTube. You messaged me like, hey, I'm drunk, so I have to let you know I have a high-key crush on you. And I was like, you need to feed me 3 times a day and make sure I bathe regularly. I was under the impression she was on board with this, but I suppose I was mistaken. But that's all fine. I'm not gonna blame someone for being unable to tolerate my chronic incurable quirks. It's like refusing to date someone because they're on life support. Ditch that bitch. Doctors say he ain't waking up. By the way, I don't mean you were dating him and then he was in an accident and had to be put on life support. I mean you went on a blind date and they rolled this guy out to your table on a gurney, machines and all, and expected you to get to know him. He can blink twice for yes, once for no. Alright, what's your name? You've got 2 incorrect options. You ever stay at someone's house where the only thing in their fridge is a gift certificate to a restaurant? When you live with someone in another state for a week, you're kind of at their mercy. The home-cooked meals of your family are 1,500 miles away, and you must now adopt the diet of the person you're with or face starvation. I can safely say Oregon restaurants are better than Nebraska ones because Mexicans are better cooks than black people. That's just how it is. It's not like Nebraska is swimming in black people. Actually, sprinting is probably the better adverb to use there. They just have less Hispanics and double the black population percentage of Oregon. If facts can be racist, we've twisted the definition too much. Even the KFC there was bad, and y'all love that shit. I don't get it. My stomach was miserable the whole time. I mean, food for me is never something you should gamble on, because it has to sustain you and bring you joy to eat. If you're disappointed by a meal, you have to wait hours to try again unless you're a fat fatty, and it kills your disposition until your stomach fills with a suitable replacement later. I'll try a bite of something someone else got, but I'm not going to order a brand new thing from a restaurant because I might have just spent $20 on a bad mood. I only ever see Asians at airports. Like foreign Asians that are speaking Asian. It's like the PDX airport is their tourist destination. They make an 18-hour flight in, walk around smiling at pictures on the wall, buy a souvenir they don't understand, and then hop back on the plane at the end of the day like, Oregon, so pretty! It is so beautiful! We come back next year! They're used to taking their shoes off, so security is no problem for them. They're in socks before they even enter the building. There is a surprising wealth of Asian airport jokes to be made, apparently, but I don't want to mind that you're completely dry. Let other comedians have fun with it too first. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll play myself off.